Welcome to Car Comparers. Today we're going to be comparing the Tata Tiago with the Maruti-Suzuki Celerio. Pricing and features. The top of the line Celerio Petrol ZXi O variant retails for 5.6 lakhs on road Delhi, which is 45,000 rupees more than the Tiago's top end XZ variant costing 5.2 lakhs. But that's not all. The Tiago also has a couple of extra features like the parking sensors and tweeters which the Celerio doesn't. These features are worth around 10,000 rupees, making it roughly 55,000 rupees cheaper than an equivalent Celerio. Performance and drivability. In the petrols, the Celerio has a 200cc smaller engine, but it is effectively more powerful and torquey than the Tiago. Of course, considering the power and torque to weight ratios. That is because the Tiago weighs an incredible 260 kgs more than the Celerio, which negates all its power and torque advantages. Both cars are neck to neck in terms of performance across the rev range, but the Celerio's K10 engine is in a different league altogether in terms of refinement and its free revving nature. The Tiago's engine gets quite vocal and sounds harsh as the revs rise. Amongst the diesels, Tiago's diesel engine feels much more satisfying to drive than the diesel Celerio. Celerio's 800cc two-cylinder engine sounds 100% agricultural. In comparison, Tiago's three-cylinder oil burner feels much more refined and revs more freely as well. Both cars have managed to keep turbo lag to a minimum and are quite effortless to drive in city traffic. However, when the road opens up, the Celerio runs out of breath quite quickly compared to the Tiago. Celerio fails to even keep up with fast-moving traffic and overtaking is completely out of question. Tiago, though not great, is far better than the Celerio at highway speed. The Tiago Petrol has an ARAI certified mileage of 23.84 kmpl, which is around 0.7 kmpl more than the Celerio Petrol. Amongst the diesels, the Tiago's ARAI mileage is rated at 27.28 kmpl, which is around half a kmpl less than the Celerio diesel. In our real-world tests, the Celerios, both petrol and automatic, were consistently 1 kmpl more efficient than the Tiago. The diesel Celerio was also just over 1 kmpl more efficient than the diesel Tiago. Space and comfort. Tiago has marginally more space inside the cabin than the Celerio. However, Celerio has better ergonomics. Tiago lacks adequate lumbar support, which becomes quite apparent after long hours in the driving seat. In comparison, the Celerio is far more fatigue-free on long journeys. Tiago's 242-litre boot space is also practically the same as Celerio's 232-litre capacity. Handling and ride quality. Tiago handles more enthusiastically around corners than the Celerio. It has a quicker turn-in and eager responses in contrast to the safe but boring handling manners of the Celerio. Tiago also has a marginally better bump absorption than the Celerio. That being said, both cars have surprisingly good dynamics for their segment and bargain basement price tags. Reliability and after-sales service. Maruti Suzuki has maintained an almost flawless record of vehicle reliability and service support in our country over a span of 30 long years. Tata, on the other hand, have been struggling to get both its product reliability as well as its dealership experience up to the level of today's car buyers' expectations. Maruti's sheer reach with over 2000 plus touchpoints is also far wider than Tata's reach with its 400 odd touchpoints. Resale and cost of ownership. Celerio is bound to depreciate much lesser than the Tiago thanks to Maruti's superior reliability and after-sales service track record compared to Tata. Celerio negates Tiago's price advantage by retaining higher resale value, resulting in similar total cost of ownership for both petrol as well as diesel offerings. Which brings us to the verdict. The Celerio AMT is our pick of this test. The unmatched comfort and convenience offered by the cutting-edge AMT gearbox, coupled with similar total cost of ownership as the manual petrol cars, makes it unbeatable in terms of sheer value for money. However, if you plan to cover well over 1 lakh kilometers in the next 5 to 7 years, then the Tiago Diesel would be our recommendation for you. It is similar to the Celerio in terms of ownership cost and importantly has far better highway performance than the almost asthmatic Celerio diesel.